Welcome to the. Oh, you pointing? You're not okay. Welcome to episode 22 pre-shoot, the live version, if you will. Even if you won't, it's what it is. So we just had the nice countdown, the 5, 4. Wait a minute, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 again. So Aaron, do you want to just pop your head in here to say goodbye?
Sure, yeah.
So Super Key Grip Joe is here. There's Aaron. Aaron is on his way out. He's got some family.
Well, you will in a second, I'm sure.
Got some family matters to attend to. I'm hearing some audio. Is that you or is it bed? Okay. Jeez. Oh, he's got to put his kids to bed. That's the family issue. Okay. I was trying to be cool about it, but whatever. Anyway, all right, bud. Have a good one. So we have Super Key Grip Joe sitting in to take your questions, your comments, and I. Yeah, it's you. Can you just fix the audio?
Super producer.
Super
Jason.
producer Jason dropping the ball. It's okay.
He carries it so often. So.
So yeah, send your comments in. I'm sure people are going to want to talk about the latest couple of games there. Put up a stinker in St. Louis. Not so hot, is what it is.
Not at all.
Oh, well.
What are you gonna do?
One other thing, I want you to look out for an Instagram post, hopefully in the very near future. I don't know, is Aaron taking care of that? Do we know?
I believe he was.
Aaron's going to do it? Okay,
He's
so he's on his
working on
way.
it.
He's probably not going to do it right now.
Don't text and drive.
Don't text and drive, right? So we had a very special guest on today. We fixed the configuration since then. Should I drop the name or no?
Drop it.
Drop the name. Eagle Scout Dan Ruzanowski was on the show. So really cool. Had a lot of great stories. We had the configuration again so that Dan was sitting here, and it was great going back and forth with him. We had lots of fun stories and whatnot that he had shared with us. Also, the book that he had, the If These Walls Could Talk, the San Jose Sharks version. I didn't realize that other teams do the same exact thing by the same exact title.
Yeah.
So if you look for If These Walls Could Talk,
I think he said it was what, the Red Wings?
Red
was another
Wings,
one?
yeah, Red Wings was another one that they did. I think that might have been just an example as opposed to the only other one that's there. But this one, obviously, San Jose Sharks, the one we're interested in. Lots of cool stories in here, and he did share quite a few of those with us. So check out the episode, check out the book. You also notice the signature, so that I'm not lying. I'm not trying to bait you guys into clicking on for episode 22. Dan Ruzanowski's signature right up there. So we're filling it in just a bit. Also, you notice Essen Gallo. We got him to sign it for us finally, which is great. We had a little mishap where he had some ink on his hand and this little spot right there where he tried to pull the ink up with some tape and it just didn't really work out. But that's okay. Maybe we'll put a big Fin Factor sticker there or something. I don't know. We'll see. Picture of my ugly mug. I don't know.
No.
That's no good. Yeah.
It's no good. Maybe a picture, make one to shave.
Yeah. Oh my God. I forgot that I still have this thing. So no, I did not kill a hamster and staple gun it to my upper lip. It's the Movember stash that I'm doing right now. So the Mo Space. It's
I believe it's Mobro. I'll look it up.
Mobro?
I'll put it in
Okay.
the chat.
Yeah, I think it's Mobro.co. I think is what you guys said. To that or Bromo.
It's
I think it's Mobro.
Mobro.
Mobro.co.
Mobro.co
right-
/ the Fin Factor.
After like 1 week of me putting this up, this page up, we've got like $50 in donations, which is great. I'm really hoping for a lot more. I'm hoping that anybody who's watching, any subscribers, any viewers, period, whatever, if you're able to give just $1, right? If I can get one of you guys to give $1, and then for every subscriber that I have, that's $1,000. That's our goal right there.
Yeah.
So if you could find it in yourself to give $1, that'd be awesome.
And it's all good charity.
Oh yeah.
It's not going him directly.
No, it's not going to me. If it would go to me, it'd go to towards some really fancy shaving cream
Oof.
and a really fancy blade, and I would live stream that, cutting this thing off for sure. But no, it's benefiting men's health issues, obviously, testicular cancer, prostate cancer, and the other one was
I thought it
the
was
suicide
suicides.
suicide prevention. Those are the main ones I think that it's benefiting, but it's not limited to that, I don't think. So again, if you could find it within yourself to give $1 or more, I would really appreciate it, and so would the charity that this goes to. So
with that said, I have a question right here.
Oh, great.
James Federico, do you see Carlson ever playing with Burns as a D pair?
No. I don't see them playing together as a D pair. I see them paired together on the power play because we've seen that in practice and we've seen that in a game. So I don't think that they I don't think that they pair well throughout a game. I think there are times you'll see DeBoer throw them both out
I
there.
was gonna say, what about late in the game?
Yeah.
Like, you're down one, you need a little bit of extra
Yeah.
offense. Even like, 6 men out there. Burns jumps over the
Oh,
boards or whomever.
Oh, if it's a sixth man situation, yeah, both of them should be on the ice.
Right, but
Yeah,
not as an intentional pairing, like starting lineups, Burns and
No.
Carlson going out there
No,
at the same time.
I think if you're down a goal, it's one of those things you do, kind of like shaking up the lines, right? You add Carlson and Burns because at that point you're out there for all-out offense. You're not out there to try to stop anything. So,
Right.
not saying that they're defensively inept because they're not. I've seen Carlson make many, many good plays. Yes, he's still in the minus. I understand where you guys are coming from with all the comments that are probably going to flood in after that comment there, but. I've seen him make too many good plays to say that he's just not defensively capable. I'm waiting for him to get that one goal. I'm not on goal watch, like I said, but I feel like, and Dan had said the same thing when he was here, and we said it before. I think once he gets that one goal, it's going to be an exhaling period for him. I think he's just going to kind of finally get that off of his back. He's going to relax a little bit more. I think right now he's a little high strung. That's just kind of what I feel.
It's probably, and feel free to make fun of me all you want.
Yeah.
But I feel it's kind of like him coming to the Sharks is such a huge change that, yes, he's still a professional. He's still a very good hockey player. But imagine it as if you were a rookie coming into a season. You are working with a new team completely. You have not ran in the system. Yes, you know how to play hockey, but you knew how to play hockey in the AHL. You knew how to play hockey in college or whatever other leagues you've been in.
Yeah.
Now you are with a new group of people and with the way that they play. And something that was mentioned is, relocation.
Yeah.
You are in a new area. You don't even know. I mean, he knows where he's at. He's an adult. We're all adults here. But realistically, he has a lot to adjust to, and also being a professional hockey player on a brand new team.
Yeah. And I liked one of the things that Dan had brought up on the show when he was here was, you've got these guys who are coming from these junior level teams, and they're in most cases the best player on their team, and in some cases the best player in the league. And then you go into the NHL and you're just one of the guys, right? And I feel like that's kind of the same explanation for Erik Karlsson. He's coming from Ottawa, who's not an AHL level team or a junior team by any stretch, but he was the man. He was the guy. And now he's going to a team in San Jose where it was funny hearing Dan say they have many of the guy, many the man. Because it's like almost the exact phrase that I chose. And I'm like, yes, I love it. I love that we're on the same wavelength. So I feel like that has a lot to do with it too. And you would think that would mean he can relax a little bit more instead of having to be relied on so heavily. But I think it's a big paradigm shift to say, I need you to play 30 minutes a night, and then when you get traded, I need you to play like 20 minutes a night instead because you've got all these other guys who are stars on the team as well. I think it's a shift, and you've got a new D partner, you've got different expectations, a new system. Yes, we're in that 15 to 20 game mark where we're going to start judging the team, but I feel like, I can't remember who it was that said, I think you need to give him another 10, 12 games. I think it was Kevin Kurz had a tweet out where he was quoting somebody else who was a scout, and he was saying, give him another 10 to 12 games, and he'll really catch his stride. Quite frankly, I think that if we're not looking great right now, we're still over 500. So I can't wait until we do look great, and we're going to look great. At some point in the season, we're not going to look like the semi-mediocre team that a lot of the fans feel that we are right now. I think you're going to see us blossom a little bit more. I mean, Timo's gone insane, nuts with goals.
I don't think anyone would have expected. I mean, they expect him to do well, but to lead the team, right?
Yeah, no, it's insane. So I think you're going to see the team get better because right now, again, if this is the team not being so hot, once we catch fire, my goodness.
Sharks are on a slide. They're only third in the division.
Right.
Kind of thing,
exactly.
Right?
And I think there's a lot of overreaction to that. Like, oh, we're not doing good. We suck and trade everybody, fire everybody. And it's like we're still right at the top of the division.
So speaking of that, I actually got two questions that are kind of related. We'll go with both of them. Colin Lee wants to know what your take, or rather, what is the Sharks' realistic record after this homestand? But on top of that, I'm also going to ask Matt Land's question at the same time. What are your thoughts on the upcoming games this week? Mostly Toronto, which he actually gets to be attending.
Yeah, no, that's great that you're able to make that game. That one's going to be a sight. You've got a powerhouse offensively in Toronto. Man, Tavares and Austin Matthews. Nylander is supposed to be on the trade block, I think, which is interesting news. A good young player for Toronto, and it sounds like he's doesn't want to be there or something to that effect. So you may see Nylander get shipped out sooner than later, which would be kind of a blow to Toronto at the same time. They're so stacked, it's ridiculous.
So let's go with the next 4 games though. So you got the Predators.
Okay.
Very good team,
Yeah.
at least in my assertion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maple Leafs, that was one we were just talking about. Then you got Blues, who we just didn't do too well against.
Yeah.
And then Oilers, which they can be, I would say they can be explosive.
A certain player can be explosive.
He's on a team.
He's
It's not a
on the
person,
team,
right?
yeah,
He
so-
can't, 5-on-1 is not going to be an easy.
Let's put it this way: if Connor McDavid gets injured, I don't think the Edmonton Oilers are going anywhere.
Sure, but that's their next
Anywhere.
4 games. What
Yeah.
do you think realistically? What do you think? Do you call? I mean, like
Yeah.
I'm going to say out of that range, and being the
Optimist.
sub filling in for Aaron, I'm going with maybe 2-1-1.
Okay. Who are your 2 and who are your 1-1?
So, I'd like to think the 2 is the Blues, and the Oilers
Yeah.
that we get, and then I think the Predators take us just because kind of like they get a revenge game. I mean, it was a close game last time. It wasn't like anyone blew anyone out, right? And then I think the Maple Leafs, I think we get a win over them. But that's pure
Yeah.
speculation.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah, I think the Predators are going to be the big test. I know Toronto is high-powered offense, and Austin Matthews is just gonna bulldog his way to the net. But I think that the Predators are going to be the biggest test of those 4 games. St. Louis, I can't see us getting beat by St. Louis that bad again. I just don't. I think we're going to bounce back. I don't think St. Louis is that phenomenal of a team. We know that they had some acquisitions and that their forward core is really good. But I just don't see us getting smacked around like that again. I think we're going to learn our lesson, and that wasn't a very good game by the Sharks. I think you have a good game, and that turns the tide. I don't think that you have. I don't think that there's going to be another destruction like that coming from St. Louis. That's just my take on it.
Right.
Predators, I think it's going to be a tight game. Maple Leafs, it's going to be a tight game, I hope. But I think that they've got a lot of offensive talent, and who knows if we're going to come away with that one. And then the other game was?
Preds, Leafs, Blues, and Oilers.
Oilers. Honestly, I think we beat the Oilers. I don't think we lose the Oilers. McDavid's an awesome talent, but I think with the defense that we have, when it's awake, when we're not making blunders, when we're not coughing up the puck, when we're not blowing a tire and giving away a breakaway.
That was heartbreaking to watch. I mean, it happens.
It happens, but is what it is. When we're playing well and we're on our game, with those players and with Erik Karlsson stepping in and doing what he can do, I don't think that the Oilers beat us. That's just me. Now, the real question there is Erik Karlsson going to step up? I hope so. I really do. I think he's gone at a point in this season now where we can say, okay, you need to start showing us a little bit more, right? I think the fan base is aching for it right now. They want to see what Erik Karlsson can do. I know that there was that scout that Kurz had said, 10, 12 more games or so. I feel like he's going to catch a stride a little bit before that. I think it's going to be maybe nearing the end of this homestand. I think Karlsson's going to start to turn a little bit. You're going to see him turning on just a little bit. I just get this feeling. I don't know. It's not a crystal ball kind of thing. Obviously, I really don't know, but it's just a gut feeling that I think he's going to turn it on during this homestand, and it's going to be kind of in the latter half of the homestand. I'd love to see it be against the Oilers and just rip them apart because divisional and everything. But
Matt Land actually he replied, "Isn't Matthews still in the injured reserve?" So yeah, and actually it looks like.
Oh, is he?
Austin Matthews is on injured
I haven't
reserve.
been keeping up. Sorry.
He got put on their 4-week injury reserve on the 29th, so he may not end. We may not see him.
Then that okay. Having said that, then yeah, I think we have a much better chance against Toronto. I wouldn't be surprised if we do win that game. Tavares is going to step into that building and he's going to get an earful. He's going to get a big earful, and I think maybe Karlsson might have a little something to prove. They didn't get Tavares and they picked me up instead and show him what I can do against this guy. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, hat trick.
Hat trick?
No.
Yeah, let's not. I don't know about hat trick.
Hey, I throw my hat.
Let's start with one.
Right. Harley Rivera, that is. Now this is kind of a hypothetical, obviously. Would you take Quenneville over DeBoer?
Ugh.
It's a bit too early now, but what if DeBoer isn't the coach to get the best out of the current Sharks roster? It's hard to say, right?
So, okay, but 2016 we go to the Cup final, right? And yeah, people bring that up all the time. I think this team is better than that team. Flat out, I think this team is better than the team that took us to the Cup final, at least on paper, right?
Well, and I think I've known Paul for quite some time, and I've had this conversation with you a lot because I'm a Sharks like way outsider. I enjoy them, but I do not follow them off season. You know, so whenever we're talking, like when the early season comes up, you're like, dude, I don't know. I got a feeling this team is better than last year. And almost every single time he says that, he goes, and I know I said this last year, but literally, like if you look at who's playing and just the developing of the young guys, you know, we got quicker, we got, you know, better specialized or however it works. Like it always seems to be a better team on paper. It's the execution then, and you know, I'll always give other credits, you know, their credit where it's due. It's not as if, okay, well the Sharks got better and everybody else just rested and they ate pizza all week. They didn't do anything, you know. They look like you know, they've just been sitting around doing nothing. You know, they're the Des Bryant of the groups. But no,
that's
long story.
Sharks.
So anyway, yes, but. So it's like, I know you always say that every year, but I mean, with Carlson coming in, and I'm like, okay, Carlson came in, and you know, we got a bunch of young guys. The thing that I always noticed is we look slow against teams, and I hate when we look slow. So, you know, do we have that team this year that can, you know, kind of keep pace with everybody else, or at least keep puck control? You know,
I think we've got a lot of speed on this team. I mean, Timo Meyer's straight line speed is insane. I think it's deceptive. People don't realize how fast the guy is, but he's a real quick player. And the thing is, you get that much mass going at any velocity, and watch out. You've also got to remember that the speed of the game isn't just how fast can I skate from A to B. The speed of the game is that jitterbug type movement as well. I've always seen Jonas Donskoy working on his edges as if he needs to. But at every practice I've ever gone to, as soon as he gets out there, he's got the puck, he's stick handling, and he just cuts really hard, and his stick handling cuts really hard the other way, and he's constantly moving back and forth. We've seen Evander Kane. He's fast, don't get me wrong, he is fast, but a lot of the things that he does quick and blowing by guys are these little moves where he's toe dragging it or he's putting it between someone's legs, and he's doing these high skill maneuvers, and he's fast on top of it. So I mean, I think the only guys on the team that you could say are slow, we've said it many times, are, you know, Jumbo, and Pavelski looks a little bit slower out there than usual, but it's not always in the foot speed. You have to think about the passing. You're always going to pass faster than anyone's going to be able to skate. A puck is going to move much faster than anyone's able to skate. So with Jumbo, you get him the puck as long as he's got a lane to pass it through, and he's a magician at finding passing lanes. There's still speed to the game. So he himself may not necessarily be the fastest guy out there, but if he's in an open area and the puck gets to him, before anybody's able to converge, if he's able to get that puck off of his stick, hopefully to somebody who's wide open. I mean, he, again, one of the best passers the game's ever known. There's still speed to the game outside of just foot speed. Go ahead.
I was gonna say also the like start and stop. Much more difficult than obviously keeping your momentum. So you could have a slow skater, but if he's able to make a move and get someone turned around trying to chase now, well, yeah, he's got to actually get that acceleration up and catch up. And yeah, obviously passing. I mean, you could pass 80 mile an hour. Good luck skating that. You know, you're not gonna meet there.
And honestly, I see one of the best skaters that the Sharks have ever had in Erik Karlsson. Like his skating ability is really unreal. I mean, he's and again, we've referenced this on a previous episode where he was in the defensive zone. He had the puck, two guys on top of him, and he just kind of toe drags around a guy, and it was just calm, very collected and calm. You know, he didn't panic. With two defenders, like one guarding the wall and one coming at him.
He didn't even see him. He didn't even see him. He's just like, I'm just going to go this way myself.
He just walks around him calmly, and it's not a problem. And yes, there are times where he's had blunders. I'm hoping and I'm guessing he irons most of that out of his game as the weeks progress. But, you know, I don't think we've ever had a guy like this before. I can't think of any player with, I mean, even the stick handling ability. Yes, Donskoy's got great stick handling, but it's mostly shootout. Deking type moves.
And that's the main difference, at least, is like you said, Karlsson has two guys coming at him. He's got to make a decision. Is he going right? Is he going left? How is he going to get it? Who's open on the ice? You know, what can you do? Well, on a penalty shot or on a shootout, it's all you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you know, it's Aaron's favorite thing. I know he pretends he hates them, but he loves
Whatever,
the
he
shootout.
hates it.
He you know he's all about skills competitions, but yeah. So it's like you know you're out there. It's 1-on-1.
Yeah.
You know, it is not 2-on-1. It is not even you know a defender coming at you and you still have to make the play. So, but speaking of Carlson,
Okay.
should we trade him? No, I'm kidding. Colin Lee says, you know, people have said, boo this man. People have said that this is Carlson's worst season. How can it be when the full season has not even been played?
Thank you. And I was just gonna say that. Okay, so yeah, it's maybe his worst season so far up until this amount of games.
Worst start of a season.
Worst start of a season.
Right.
That's
Just
what I
like the
mean to say,
Rangers
yes.
had the worst start in 36 years. Okay, are they going to end it that way? Maybe not.
Maybe not. You're right. So, yeah, no, it's an excellent point. The season's not over. It's not his worst season until the season's done. He could break out and just the switch goes on in his head, and all of a sudden he's just going, you know, scoring goals and making assists, and his plus minus. Who cares about plus minus, right? But I mean, all those things could fall into place. There's nothing saying that the way that this player is trending right now is the way that he's going to trend throughout the rest of the season. You look at like a full team effort, like with the Kings when they won their cup and they were in the 8th seed. Did anybody think that they were going to win? No. Were they trending to win the cup?
That's
No.
something I was going to say. Is it their worst season if they win the cup? So if like, it's Carlson's worst season. The Stanley Cup winner, Stanley Cup winner Sharks.
I'd be
It was their worst season ever. Like what? That doesn't even make sense.
So I would say in
They have to
terms
win it,
of
of course.
yeah, they have to win it, of course. But I would say yeah, there's still. And I know you're tired of hearing that it's still early because it's not early anymore. The facts are it's not early anymore. We're approaching Thanksgiving, and that's one of the points of the season where we say, okay, how are we doing?
Right. Quarter of the way in.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
But again, I look at the team as a whole, and I say, well, how are we doing? Well, we're over 500. I mean, even with the guy who's struggling. Now, again, remember, he is struggling right now.
You've had sorry to interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
You've had a guy who's struggling. Okay, he's not playing. I won't say he's struggling. He's not playing as well as you would expect him to had he been on the same team.
Struggling, sure. Go
You
ahead.
had one of your all-stars, if not your most veteran player, out for 9 games. Hurdle has been injured a few of the games.
Yeah.
Like you've not had a full roster, but like you and Aaron have said, the Sharks have depth.
Yeah.
And they can keep. I mean, again, to go back to the beginning of the stream, I think you're like I would, if this is a team that is struggling, I'll take it.
Yeah.
At over 500,
Because here's the thing. Imagine being a team who's playing ridiculously well for that team, but they're sub 500 team. There's nothing to look forward to, right? All you're expecting is, okay, well, no matter how well we play, we're still going to suck. There's no way around it. This team, if you want to call them underperforming right now, that's fine. Call them that. That's great. And you're probably right. They are underperforming. But we're still over 500.
Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine when we're not underperforming. They always talk about things leveling out, market corrections, right? You say it's not sustainable for the Sharks to only score on 4% of their shots. It's not sustainable for Timo Meier to be scoring on 20-something% of his shots, right?
He's going to get
It's
like
gonna
60, 70
level out.
goals this year now.
So if we're underperforming and we level out and we're already over 500, our leveling out is going to push us up, guys. I mean, there's something to look forward to here. Yeah, we're kind of maybe a little unhappy about where the season is right now, but for the season as a whole, if you're talking about it's going to balance out, it can only balance out upward, right? So I think, again, let's be optimistic. Go ahead.
Sorry. Let's find another one here. Leafs still have guys like Tavares. Oh, so back to the Toronto game.
Yeah.
So even if they don't have Austin Matthews,
Yeah.
they still have plenty of guys that can
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree.
Moving
That's all
right along.
there is to that one, really, yeah.
Colin asking, did you guys read, I did not for sure, did you guys read Gackel's article about fans' criticisms of DeBoer being unwarranted, and is it justified or not?
I did not.
If you didn't read it, then
I did not read that article, but...
Would you say any criticisms of him at this point? I mean, we just talked about how it's early, but it's not early. It's, but...
So yes and no. I mean, on the one hand, again, Pete DeBoer knows his team. I'm sitting in a chair with a bunch of memorabilia around. I don't know that team. I don't know that team like he knows it. You know what I'm saying? So I have a hard time saying that, fans criticizing is something that the team should even be paying attention to, whether it's warranted or not. Whatever, we're fans. We get to say whatever we want. That's just the nature of it, right? And it goes the same way, whereas, you put something out there that somebody else doesn't like, and they're going to come back at you for your comment. So they're totally within their rights to say that too. There's no issue there. I think when it comes down to, well, he should be listening to me. Well, that's where you might start losing some people, right? Because again, we're fans and we can watch as many clips and look at as many advanced stats as we want. It's not quite the same as being the coach and knowing those players, their tendencies, what's going on with them behind the scenes, you know, personal life stuff, sicknesses, aches and pains, that kind of stuff, chemistry. All that. I mean, we can see what players may or may not have chemistry together, but it's quite a different thing to be the coach of that team and say these guys belong together for XYZ reasons. Now, there's a lot of people who want to do like the armchair GMing and the armchair coaching, and that's all well and good. And that's where I've gotten in trouble before with some of the viewers where I say, yeah, that trade makes sense in a video game. And I wasn't knocking anybody playing video games. I play video games all the time. I have no problem with it. But I'm just saying that is the best setting for that type of activity where it's, oh, I would trade Carlson and get, you know, this guy. Yeah, in a video game, it totally makes sense, you know.
And you know, kind of what I was talking about with Aaron as well. In a video game setting, and this is obviously no real world, right? The video game just takes into considerations pure statistics.
Sure.
Is that a good trade? Does that trade make good by the numbers?
Yeah.
The Carlson trade, does that make sense? Sure, but it's also like, you don't take into consideration, like what Dan was talking about today was amazing because he talks about his family life as well. And it's like, that is a big consideration to take, and that's something that a video game will never take into account,
Right.
is the personal life of the player. They will say, oh, what, you're an 86 and I'm trading for an 86? Then I'll trade that. Well, it's an 86 who has deep roots in this hometown, you know, and has wanted, like right now, would you trade Thornton? It's like, but he's played here for so many years and likely wants to retire. Same thing with other players in other sports who are like, I want to play on this team for my entire life if I have the opportunity to. So, okay, maybe they'll take a little bit extra, or they'll take a little bit less just to stay with you. And didn't that happen with Marlowe and Thornton a few years back?
Yeah,
they both took
a
less
bit of a pay cut,
to stay in order to sign, I think, Pavelski at the time or something like that. I don't remember who.
I can't remember what it was.
I'm going to make stuff up and just, you know,
okay.
somebody fact check me.
I know that they did take a bit of a hometown discount. So, I mean, yeah, stuff like that's going to happen. But and again, the reason I bring up video game, and I don't mean to offend anybody, is because that's really the only scenario where you can be the coach, you can be the GM. Again, I'm just sitting in a chair here. So in those scenarios, yeah, I would say absolutely. I'd love to sit down and like game with some of you guys and do the linked GM mode stuff that they used to. I don't know if they still have that or not. I didn't pick up 19, but I'd be fun.
Let me shift away from the video game aspect. Is there anything that you have seen Pete DeBoer do this year? That was me.
Okay, Joe's ringing right now.
I'm ringing.
Go ahead.
Is there anything he has done this year that might make you think he could have done something differently, which you would have preferred to see?
Yeah, I think for me, if you're gonna, I just wanted consistency for Carlson, not out of Carlson. I wanted consistency for him.
Right.
So if you're gonna pair him up with Vlasic,
keep him there.
Pair him up with Vlasic. If you're gonna pair him up with Dylan, pair him up with Dylan. And it's fine either way you go. It doesn't matter to me.
Now, Aaron's point to that, I thought, was something along the lines of, you want to make sure that in case of injury, but he might have just been, I mean, like, does he know that, or is just that, well, it makes sense?
I think he maybe believes that that's on DeBoer's mind. I don't know if that's exactly what DeBoer's thinking or not, because, again, I'm sitting in the chair. But I feel like you got to play these games with the assumption that you're going to have these pairings and that you're not going to be injured. If you're playing the game with the assumption that you're going to have to go through injuries, which everybody does anyway, but if for the long term and you're going to have to mix up your chemistry and everything else, I just think that might be the wrong way to approach it. I think if everybody's healthy, you play everybody who's healthy. I mean, that's like saying, okay, the Couture, Meyer, and Hurdle line, they work really well together. So let's take Hurdle off that line in case he ever gets injured. What? Right?
So Aaron was wrong, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying Aaron's wrong. I'm saying that line of thinking doesn't necessarily work for me, but I mean, whatever.
But again, he's also he's new to the team, and there's no practice like game time practice.
Yeah, and going back to what the question is did DeBoer do anything that I think maybe he should have changed? I just think if you're gonna pair him up with someone, ride that out for the long haul. Don't change it up on him because now he's got to reset and reload, right, with a new guy. And it's not like, oh, Dylan sucks, and that's why, you know, he's having a bad season, or, you know, whatever the case may be. It's not that. Frankly, I think Dylan's not a bad player, and I'm actually growing to like him going to the practices. He's a great guy. But I think if you're gonna pair him up with one guy, stick it and ride it out, and that's fine if it's Dylan. It's almost better if it's Dylan actually, because then you've got Vlasic and Braun, the shutdown defensive pairing, and you don't have to worry about them at all. Then you've got Burns and Ryan, who again high offensive talent there, and Ryan's learning how to play with Burns over the last couple seasons, so he's looking a little more comfortable out there with him. And if you can get Dylan and Carlson to look comfortable with each other, which again it makes sense, you've got a highly offensively talented player alongside a large defensively minded player who actually doesn't have a bad shot either. But you've got those two guys working together. I hope they stick with them at this point. If that's who your partner is, I hope they keep them that way, and that we don't have any more changes and shuffling and everything else. I get the whole what if an injury happens thing, but I just think if you're playing that way, thinking that we might have an injury, let's shake it all up just because, even though everyone's healthy, I just think that's the wrong way to go about it.
Right. Well, it could have been also he's trying to see who he works with best, and in practice, everyone works with everyone just fine. You know, there might be a little bit of things you can work out here and there, but that live fire, if you will.
In practice, they generally already have their pairings set up. They don't really rotate the pairings in practice.
Right.
If they're gonna try a pairing out, they do it for the whole practice, from what I've seen at least.
Well, I don't have anything new right now.
No.
So
have we been going for half an hour?
31 minutes.
31 minutes.
There's a couple. Well, so some people were asking about Dan. You know, if they had questions for him, and I'm like, well, unfortunately, he's come and gone.
Yeah. So the way we did it, because Dan, he came at 6 o'clock.
He's not a night owl.
And yeah, he's not a night owl. And gosh, we ran for over an hour with him. I was surprised.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
So it's a long one, guys. Buckle up. But the show itself will be trimmed down a little bit. It'll be less than an hour for sure. But it's going to be more than the 30-minute show that we've been doing.
Yeah, I mean it ran long, but it was good. It was like I was mentioning to you. There's the Giants announcers on the radio as well. We'll talk about some of the older broadcasters, and when you talk to them, you know, they just have these stories that they bring up. Just, you know, you say like, oh, the color blue, and they go, you know what, you know who liked blue? This one guy, and they will just go on, and it's like everyone in the room is just captivated by what they are saying.
Yeah.
You know, and that is very much, you know, I had the privilege of sitting there listening.
And so, like, that's how I solved world hunger, but I'm not telling anybody.
No, it makes sense. I mean, if you're good at something, you know,
I'm keeping it to myself.
Well, yeah.
Oh, we're live. Hi. So we're back. Yeah. So we had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. There was a question about the merchandise for the store, and it is currently being made. So they are getting all the stuff on the shirts ready to go. The hats are being stitched. And
I hear the hats are very puffy, so they're probably taking extra time to stitch.
Are puffy.
I don't
know. He was really excited about how puffy. Yeah, I guess, you know, how much they're raised up and everything else.
Well, I figured that, but you know, it's.
So yeah, no, he's our super producer Jason is really stoked about the hats and how puffy they're going to be. So
yes.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna snag one of those too. I think I have to pay full price though, which sucks. Yeah.
You already have a hat.
It's gonna go back to me anyway, I suppose.
No, it's gonna go to Jason.
Well, it's probably
Should go to him.
Sure.
So I have a question about. Okay. So earlier we had talked about the next couple of games. Luckily, all of those games there are breaks in between, so you get rest in between. We do have a back-to-back though. There is a Friday and then a Saturday game, and the Saturday portion is Golden Knights. Now they're not doing too well this season, but I don't like them.
What's the question?
No, my question just would be like, would you rather have? No question.
The Golden Knights are not doing this well,
and I don't
not doing that well this season, and I don't like them. Okay, agreed.
Yes, no. The question just being like, you know, we have a few tough games ahead of us. Lots of rest though, which is nice. And then I think the back-to-back. I have to look up.
Well, it's great having the big homestand.
Oh, absolutely, because we started laying that out, and it was like, I mean, there's almost the entire month.
Yeah. Because we've already gone through a nice big road trips, you know, and so being able to come back home and be at home for a good majority of the next few games here is pretty nice. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of the Vegas Knights, I haven't really been following them too closely, but yeah, it sounds like they're not doing too hot, which is kind of what Aaron had said. Aaron had said, you know, we're gonna see them regress. We're gonna see them pull back. They can't possibly have the same season that they had, you know, in their breakout, their inaugural season. So he felt that they weren't going to be doing as well. They're not doing as well right now. So I'm still kind of surprised to see some of the teams that are ahead of us.
Vancouver is a big. I mean, because that's the one you guys have keep
Yeah.
saying, like, as any injury to them, you believe would be
Well,
kind of like a nail in the coffin.
any
almost.
injury to one of their top players, Brock
Right,
Besser,
not just anyone,
Yeah,
sure.
Brock Besser or I can't remember his first name, but Pedersen. Either of those guys goes down, and it's good luck. Same thing with Edmonton. Connor McDavid goes down, good luck, right? I mean, he is that team. He is that team.
Yeah,
So
it is a beautiful sight, by the way. The Vegas Golden Knights are only above the Los Angeles Kings. I just want to freeze for. I mean, like,
yeah, that's good. No, it's great to see the Kings in the dumps where they belong. So go ahead.
No, it's all right. Here we go. Got a couple questions here. Oh, hey, look, Aaron Scholl jumped on.
Oh,
He said
hey.
3 games this week: Preds, Leafs, and Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron, we were discussing that earlier, and
Is Aaron asking questions?
that was Aaron Scholl asking questions.
Aaron, you're a jerk. You should be here and answer this question.
And actually, he mentioned something that you mentioned. Do you think the Sharks fans will boo Tavares?
Yes.
And he says, I would if I were at the game.
Oh yeah. No, they're gonna boo him.
Yeah.
For sure, they'll boo him. I mean, for better or worse, realistically.
Will he be the victim of the hey Tavares?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, they'll say "Hey Toronto" at the very beginning. I think.
Will we get a 2
You might get a twofer. Yeah.
Nice.
One of the things I didn't notice actually, I sat and I took my my whole family actually to the game, and they had the guys in the section. When one guy yells "Hit somebody," and everybody else in the section yells "Anybody."
Is that the same section?
I didn't.
Or is that some
218?
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was in 218, and so I could hear it. It was in my section, like literally the guy behind me was like, "Hit somebody," and the rest of the people, "Anybody."
Awesome. You know, I do. You know what I do love? Like, I've been to quite a few Sharks
Yeah.
games. My in-laws used to have season tickets, so I would get to go to like 4 or 5 games a year.
Yeah, sure.
And then you would randomly,
Pop in,
We get a couple here and there. And I do really enjoy the almost like a camaraderie you get for season ticket holders. You know, once you start to like you generate this community of like, this is my section. This is where I'm at. You know, and you meet the new people who come in. You find out, oh, those are Paul and Joe's seats,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
these 2 people are here today. You find out who they are and where they are, and why. You come to a lot of games, it's really really interesting getting to almost just meet the fans, but like
That's
it's
cool.
like some of them, you give or take, as far as there was also, I mean, one of Paul's favorite guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Come on, Sharks.
Yeah.
Sharks would be up 8-0, and they give up a pass in the blue zone, and guy behind us, come on, Sharks.
Come on.
And I love his enthusiasm. Personally, it's just he could also be a broken record sometimes.
It's every minute or so, no matter what happens, and I hear someone go like, it's that guy in particular. Come on.
Yeah, and
Come
I think
on,
that's
Sharks.
I do think that is
like-
honestly like, and that could be anyone.
Yeah.
That could be me. I mean, I'm watching. I am also a fan of basketball, and the Warriors miss a shot, and I'm like, oh come on, you got to make your shots.
Warriors
and they're
miss
up,
a shot?
They're up like 120 to 100, and it's garbage time, and you're like, why are you missing these shots? And it's like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing. But I think that we as Bay Area fans get spoiled on our teams.
Sure.
Because I do think that we have high expectations. And I think that one of the reasons, this is something I was thinking about the other day, is that our teams spoil us. But if they're doing bad, we have so many other things we can do in the Bay Area. We have so many other teams that are here, so many other interests. And something we were talking about as far as California goes. You want to surf, go this way. You want to snowboard, you go that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
You want to just go out into the wilderness, go this way. You have lots of options. You want to stay inside, but be part of the nightlife. It's like we have casinos now in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
which aren't the best, but they're still there. We have so many other interests that if you are not holding the people's interest, and a big thing of this is like, look at the Raiders and the Niners are doing, terrible. Look at the Sharks are doing. All of a sudden, they're really good. And the Stanley Cup, there was Shark mania.
Yeah.
And the next year, they were like, well, nobody made it. They made the Stanley Cup this year, so I'm just not going to watch it anymore. I'm like, you have to as a hockey fan, it hurts me, even though I'm not like the most dedicated hockey fan. But I want
You
to
have a hat.
see. I do have a hat, and I have no. That's all I got. It's just one hat. And that's it.
I will say this though, at the game, I wanted to shout out a couple people real quick because I know we're running out of time. There was, unfortunately, I don't know your names, but there were 2 folks that had stopped me in one intermission, which is awesome. That means we're growing. And please, if you see me, don't go, oh, dude, there's that guy from the Fin Factor. Don't come up to me. It's okay. Come say hi. I'd love to meet you guys. I'd love to shake your hands. If I have stickers on me, I'm happy to give you guys stickers, which I did give out some stickers yesterday.
Nice.
But I was going out of my section just to go down the steps to go get some popcorn or whatever for my kids. And someone behind me sees the hat. He goes, "Oh, cool, the Fin Factor." I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, yeah, watch it." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Thanks for, we appreciate your view." And then he realized that it's me from the Fin Factor, not just somebody wearing a Fin Factor hat.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's a mustache. He realized it was like me, and he's like, "Oh, are you the dude?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm me." He goes, "Oh, hey, come here. I gotta take a picture." So I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Right on."
Yeah.
And then going up the steps, same thing. There was another guy that stopped me and was like, "Oh, hey, you're the guy." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the guy." So it just means that we're growing. I'm not saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm famous." It just means that our viewership is
The more
going
often
up
you run into somebody, the more
Yeah.
likely the word's getting around, which is excellent.
So again, we're happy to have you sharing with your friends any of the episodes that we've had, in these after the fact lives and that kind of stuff, or even beforehand if you want to let them know that we're coming on live or something like that. Let them know so that they can click and be part of this conversation as well. And super producer Jason
Do you want one?
is bringing.
You could take one. No,
I don't need one, buddy.
No, he already.
Here, we'll show. You want me to hand those out of the games? He wants me to hand these out of the games.
If you're gonna take a
All these
picture
different
during
mustaches.
November only, if you you take a picture with Paul.
Yeah, sure. Because I've already got this going. This is actually just one of these. That's all it is. I just stuck it on.
Let me see.
So, oh yeah, that reminds me. If you can go to that, was it mobro.co?
Yeah, I put the link in earlier in the
good,
chat.
thank you.
It's
Yeah, if you can-
mobro.co/the Fin Factor.
Yeah, please.
Is his Movember charity?
Yeah,
charity
it's
raising.
for a good cause. None of the money goes to me, trust me. And it's supporting men's health issues, prostate cancer and testicular cancer and suicide prevention, that kind of thing. So if you can find it in yourself to even just give $1, that'd be awesome. Any little bit helps. It's not me trying to pump my own, toot my own horn about how much money I raise. It's me trying to raise money for a good cause. So if you're able to do that, please do. Again, $1, anything helps, really. So I would really appreciate you guys joining in and supporting.
By the way, Aaron Sahole.
Aaron?
Aaron Sahole.
Sahole, yeah.
He was confirming the hit somebody, anybody, and then apparently it's hit somebody, anybody, tonight.
Oh, I never heard them say tonight.
He says that's been around forever, apparently.
I've never heard them say tonight.
So,
never. I didn't hear them
one
say it
time,
in that
right.
section. Yeah, because normally I'm not sitting in section 218 or anything. So
Right.
I mean I hear chants sometimes, but I can't make it out half the
Right,
time.
right.
But being in the middle of it, yeah, I was hit somebody, anybody, or whatever. So
Right. You'll be you're going to get harassed in person, by the
Okay,
way. Yeah.
okay.
Someone mentioned they will be sure to harass you in
Yes.
person. And Matt Land wants to know, is it possible to meet you on Thursday before the game? If you're there.
If I'm going on Thursday before
If you're
the game.
going.
I don't know that I'm going to be able to go. Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm obviously I'm a Sharks fan, but unfortunately I can't make it out to every single game. I'm a father or two, and my wife is very unhappy with me already. So
Well, so she wants you out of the house. There you go.
the game that I went to, it was the 6 p.m. game. So I was able to bring the kids to that one. It wasn't too bad.
Do you have any games coming up that they should know about? They could try to meet up, like that you have scheduled on the calendar for sure.
I know for sure that I'm going to the fan appreciation night.
Okay.
I believe.
Isn't that like the end
I
of
already have the tickets for that one.
That's the end of the season.
That's
isn't
the
it?
end of the season.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
But what about Barracuda with these guys?
Oh, Barracuda. Yeah. So the 18th at the Barracuda, November 18th. If you're gonna go to that game, show up late so that I get one of those jerseys for sure, and don't take my jersey.
Show up late?
Yeah, show up late so that all the 4,000 jerseys that they're giving away are gone.
I got you.
Because I want my jersey before you show. But
Yeah.
I'd be happy to say what's up to you guys over at the Barracuda game. I'm 99% sure that I'm going to be at that game because I've told my wife like 80 times about it, and I can't wait.
Right.
And I'm hoping to get more of these giveaway nights that I can take the giveaways and essentially pass them on to you guys. I'd love to do more of these like raffles, or maybe we'll do some sort of like a silent auction type thing or something like that to raise money for the show. That'd be awesome too. But yeah, if any of these things that I have the opportunity to kind of raffle off for you guys, I think they're kicking us out. So,
Last call. Last call.
any opportunity I have to do that for you guys, I think I'd love to. I do have one of the Los Tiburones jerseys from this season, and I'm considering giving it away. So
You got a couple
we'll see
things
how
over
that
here.
goes.
Real quick, you want to mention this again? Just
Yes,
'cause?
please. The Google
That's backwards. There it
Home.
is.
There it is. Thanks for handing it to me backwards.
You're welcome.
So the Google Home, we are still giving this one away. The 25th, I think, is the deadline. 13 days from now. So
25th.
make sure you're subscribed. Thanks, Joe. Make sure
welcome.
you're subscribed and make sure you get all your friends involved in this too. The more people that you refer this to them and whatnot, the more that you're going to get in terms of number of entries. And yeah, so as soon as we know who that winner is on the 25th, we'll be sending this out. Again, Aaron and I are happy to sign it. If you'd like Joe to sign it as well, Joe will be happy to do that, maybe on the underside.
You won't be able to read it.
Sure.
It'll be a squiggle.
Yeah, a little squiggle.
Yeah. It's
Okay,
a
there you
doctor's signature.
That's how squiggles sound, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to talk to anything that was else? You had a couple
What
of
else
things
is over
here.
there? I don't
Well,
know.
you
What
had,
else do you have? Let's just
you
keep
had this
pulling
thing
things. Yeah. Oh, so
and the other thing.
yeah, sure. So it was the military night that they had there, military appreciation night. So I got my little military appreciation territory card. I'd love to get this signed by Brent Burns, and if I do, I'd probably put it on the set for a while and then maybe hand it out to one of you guys. That'd be cool. Also got the Tim Heed signed hat. Not exactly my favorite player, but hey, I'm happy to have a signed hat, and I think I will be taking this over to one of the practices and seeing if I can get some of the other players to sign it as well. And again, this might be a giveaway. I don't know. I kind of like it. It's pretty sweet. Or I might give it to my nephew. Actually, I don't know. We'll see. But in any case, he was in the Air Force. He's actually going back in. So yeah, really, really. Really awesome night for military appreciation, and I was glad that I was able to get there and get at least one of the hats. And if I can get some more ink on there, I absolutely will. But I'm getting the shadow over here, the silhouette of our super producer Jason, giving me the heads up that the second light might die soon. So, are you gonna do it?
Well, no, we got.
I think we're gonna get out of here.
We're 50 anyway. We're way over.
Yeah,
so.
good. Okay, so thank you for tuning in, and we apologize for the technical interruption that we had earlier, but. Thanks again for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. It should be a Sunday.
And Aaron should be sitting here again.
Yes.
And I will be over there again.
Oh, maybe we'll set it up in interview format. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. Anyway, thanks again. We'll see you guys next Sunday for the live, and then on Monday or Tuesday for our actual show.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much, and thanks for sitting in and handling it.
I had a pleasure.
Very good. Okay. See you guys.
See you later.
Bye.